It means everything to be back. My heart and soul is in coaching. I went to school to be a coach, and I was an athlete here myself. So I had a very small role on the team several years back, and I got a call from Sarah saying they're making big changes and trying to, boost up our athletic programs here at Cal Poly Humboldt. So I couldn't be more excited to be back. I'm here and ready to support the team in any way I can. It is the middle of track season right now, so my role will be a little bit different than what I'm used to. They're kind of already up and ready to go, and they've already been training under certain programs. So my primary role now is just to be here to assist Sarah and, hopefully give the team a little bit of a morale boost and get some more eyes at meets and just see what kind of difference I can make in the middle of track season. Well, I was a decathlete here at Humboldt State. I was an All-American athlete, and I actually hold the program record here at Humboldt. So my skill base is very broad. I did all the jumping events, I did the throwing events, I did the hurdles, I did the pole vault, and all the sprints. So I'm looking forward to utilizing it all. My specialties here will probably include the javelin throw will be something I primarily focus on, the long jump and triple jump, and help out in the shorter sprints and up to the middle range distance sprints, but that's primarily Sarah's role. So, but my expertise really lies in the jumps, the javelin throw, and the sprinting events. What I saw right away is it is a small team, and there's not about maybe half of the athletes that I'm used to seeing. Let's say about half the volume of athletes that we usually have here on the college. So it's a small team, but they're a really well-connected team, and it seems like they have good relationships with each other. It's much easier to hold athletes accountable and for them to hold themselves accountable with small groups like that. And it also, the athletes have to kind of lead themselves on a lot of things. So the leadership roles that are on the team, what I noticed, are very apparent. It's very easy to notice right off the bat who the leaders are, the more mature athletes, the more seasoned athletes are. So that's that. I've noticed it's a small team, but there's a lot to work with it being small. Oh, that it couldn't be better for me because, there's a lot of stuff I got to catch up on in the office and make sure that I'm certified in all the right areas and I'm up to speed with everything. So it's kind of nice to have a full week on campus before I have to get on the road, because next week we leave at like 10 a.m. on Wednesday morning to go to San Francisco for an all weekend meet. And I could see that being a little bit hectic being my first week. So this gives me time to get a little bit familiar with get refamiliarized with the administration, meet everyone I need to meet, and kind of work my way back into the system. And this is my home, so it's going to be a lot of fun for my first meet to be here. I can see a lot of old friends from community members, and I couldn't be more excited that it's a home meet this weekend. What I'm looking forward to most with working with the team this weekend is just the chance to see what the athletes are actually capable of and seeing them compete in person. I've got a little bit of practice time with them so far, but not enough to understand how they're going to be competing in those higher stress situations, what they're like around other athletes. And I'm really excited to see how they perform in that type of setting.
Sure. Our men's team came away from that meet with a second place finish overall as a team, which I was impressed with, and I thought that was pretty cool coming out of sort of a very competitive field there. And I think it really showed that, especially in our distance events and throwing events, we had a lot of men who were scoring, in those top 8 places, which give us points for our team. And track and field is all about, in terms of being competitive as a team, it's all about numbers and it's all about depth, and having as deep of training squads as you can, and getting as many runners or jumpers or throwers to place in that top 8 as you can. So it certainly helps having more numbers to be able to do that. And I think our men are shaping up really nicely, and I think they're gonna bring a little bit of a competitive edge to the conference and surprise the conference a little bit this year. On the women's side, we've got a really small team, and I know that that's something that a lot of schools in the conference are dealing with right now, especially post-pandemic or still mid-pandemic, wherever we are there. But I know squad sizes have been really small for a lot of the women's programs, and so that's something that we're trying to just work through, with the individuals that we have out there. Just trying to, again, maximize individual potential to be as competitive as possible and to still score as many points as we can at the conference. But being a smaller squad, it's harder for us to be as competitive as a team in the conference championship. And so that's where we just try to, refocus to improving wherever their personal bests are and making sure that each person is competing against themselves and their own marks, their own times, trying to improve those week to week. So that everybody can finish out the season, being successful, but in a different way. Track and field is an individual sport within a team sport. And ultimately, we want every athlete to set, a personal best. And to be able to do that, again, back-to-back weeks, again and again and again throughout the season, ultimately that's what we're hoping for. It doesn't always happen like that. Sometimes the PRs don't come until a little bit later in the year. But I think we've just had a ton of PRs early on this season, and I think we're building really good momentum that we're just going to continue building off of. All that hard work that the athletes put in the fall, all the hard work they put in the winter and in the off season. I think it's just really showing. It's really benefiting them, and they're getting to experience the fruits of their labor right now. So it's really nice to see that, and just to see them continue to grow and develop and continue to hit new PRs. It's satisfying for me as a coach to be able to see that, to be a part of that.
I'm looking forward to it a lot. It'll be really great to have that energy from being at home and knowing the track and the environment and having everyone there, like at our home to support that, the people that attend the school and are able to travel with us.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot less taxing on the body to not have to sit on the bus for 6 or 7 hours before your race. So it's going to be really nice to just be able to wake up and go get some breakfast and have a nice stroll to the track, So it's going to be really good. And I know a lot of people are going to come out and support, and it's really good to be racing with the whole team just on our home track. We have one of the coolest tracks like in the country, I would say. Redwood Bowl is really special. And our last home meet went really well, and I think this one's going to go great as well.
So it's always exciting to host a track meet. It's always a lot of work for me and a lot of work for our staff in putting on the meet. And we're really grateful for our support staff that help us put on a good quality meet. But I think it's just really special for our athletes to be able to have a home competition. We don't get to have very many of them, so it makes the few that we have really special. And this one is going to be our senior appreciation. So, it's just a chance for our seniors to kind of be recognized for their time here and, for all of their accomplishments throughout the years that they've been a part of this program, for us to honor them and to thank them and to celebrate them. So that's always sort of a special opportunity that we get to do at our last home meet as well. So I'm looking forward to that.
I'm running the 800 and I'm also pacing the 1500. On the distance side, we have a lot of boys who are kind of running events that aren't their usual events. Like we have some 5K guys who are running the 15 and 8. So in the 1500, I'm going to pace a lot of boys through at like 206 through 800. And a lot of people are going to be trying to break 4, get close to 4. And in the 800, a lot of people who don't ever run the 800 are going to be trying to break 2, which is a big barrier that a lot of people take a long time to get over. But when you do, it's super rewarding. So a lot of boys looking to break some barriers in events they don't usually run and just have fun with it.
This weekend, I'm looking forward to focusing on what I've been working on throughout the season. Like there's certain parts of my running, like using my arms more, that I've been trying to focus on throughout the season. And this weekend, even if I don't PR, I want to have like 1 or 2 really good things that I did well during the week to focus on. And I mean, PRing would be really great, but also I want to have other parts of the run that I feel really confident about, and then I can look back on and be like, I did this really well, and I'm going to keep doing this throughout the rest of the season.